Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 17, episode 7, and today we're back for a crucial game in this series as we continue to chase the one big competition we haven't won yet, the European Champions League. We're facing Juventus in the second leg of the last 16, hoping to get further than we've ever been before. We're second in the league, but now 8 points off Arsenal after a disappointing defeat at the weekend, so as a result we can really turn our attentions to Europe as we've got a 12-point cushion in the top 4 as well. So there's plenty of positives for us. We're pretty safe in our league position. We've got another lower league side in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, where we've had a brilliant lucky run so far, so we can face Diego Simeone's side with our first 11 out, and we can just try and focus on this Champions League trophy. If not, we've got the backup of the FA Cup, so we can start to focus on that towards the end, and we know we're almost certain of a top 4 place, something that is going to be important in this series. Even on the years we don't win the league, we cannot afford to slip out of that top 4, and you can see we've been in brilliant form throughout February until things went wrong last weekend. So let's have a look at those 6 games off camera in February and the one against Tottenham last time round. So after the Chelsea game we play City in the Premier League, a 3-1 win at home, Alexander Yaladian with a brace and Boubacar Silla with a goal as well. No longer unhappy and he started to perform again. What a surprise that is. A 2-1 win in the first leg of this game. The Juventus one will finish off today. Boubacar Silla again with the winner after Carl McDonald had given us an early lead and it was cancelled out just after half time. Juventus did pretty well in that game, but again we were on top and we looked the better side, so hopefully we can get over the line today as we went 2-0 away to Southampton. Omar and Andrade with the goals in that. A second late one just killed the game off just as Southampton were getting back into it. Then away to Bolton in the FA Cup, Kozula, Kante, Brace and Souza. Unfortunately Malik Kante's a bit unhappy now. He wants to leave due to a lack of first team football, a player that obviously came last summer, and that's what I said about spending big money on players that won't be in the first 11. You can never guarantee they're going to be happy or manage to survive when they're a squad player. He's really not happy at the moment, and I'd imagine he might be the top candidate to leave in the summer. But a really good performance there. Bolton have moved into a slightly smaller stadium now. Be interesting to see what happens with them in real life, but in this game we absolutely obliterated them, as you'd expect from 2 divisions above. Then at home to West Brom, a 3-1 victory. Maddie Keita with a brace and Andrade again. A late consolation from West Brom, but we never looked like giving up the 3 points. Then a narrow victory away at Aston Villa. We were 1-0 down at the break and we got outclassed in this match. It was the first warning sign of bad form on the way. Andrade got an equaliser just after the hour mark and Omar nicked it late on with a tap-in from 2 yards. A really scrappy finish, but it kept us in the title race at that point. Then away to Tottenham at the weekend, it all suddenly went wrong. We let in a first minute goal and never recovered. Tottenham could have won by 3 or 4 on another day. So we faced this Juventus game with a little bit of trepidation, just off the back of a defeat for the first time in about 3.5 months. Not since Arsenal, the North London rivals in November, have we managed to lose a game, and the one before that was Spurs in the Carabao Cup, so certainly North London's been a problem for us. But let's go and have a look at the lineup for Juventus. I'll of course quickly show you that Kante is unhappy, concerned about not being able to go, wants to leave for first team football, and Bakkan still not happy he couldn't join Spurs. The usual transfer window problems. I'm sure that'll end about April time. Omar and Torquay Hull have concerns, though we could solve Omar's today. He wants to reach the latter stages of the Champions League, and we could get one step closer with a victory in this one. PSG won 2-1 in their away leg as well, and of course it is the 6th of March now, so we may well have our youth intake before the next game, so we'll skip through after this match to see if we get it. We've obviously got the superstar from last year that came through. We've now loaned him out to Nottingham Forest. It was actually a deadline day move we weren't expecting. We didn't do a great deal out of the club, but Andrew Brown did go to Forest, and he's hopefully going to get some development there, as he started 4 championship games already. So I'm hoping that he'll come back a better player, but let's go and have a look at our lineup today. The most important thing is that we find a way through, even if we're not at our flamboyant best. So we've got exactly the same 11 you would expect, and the same one that lost to Spurs at the weekend. We'll give them a chance to react, knowing we've got some superstars on the bench if we need them. We've got Stojanovic in goal with Cura and Moraes fullbacks. You can probably go through the lineup with me at this stage, and Singy and McDonnell in the middle, Bacanes in that holding role. Keita and Omar continue their partnership in central midfield, and then Yaladian and Silla both in form on the wings, with Alex Andrade up front, just one away from 20 goals in all competitions, something he didn't even get close to last year. So let's go and get into this game against Juventus, one of the most important in this series, particularly with the objectives we've got left to fulfil. Hopefully we can find a way to get through. It's a 4-1-4-1 for Juve, really defensive formation, but it is the one that Tottenham played and beat us with at the weekend, so maybe the away side have done their homework. They played a more expansive way in their first leg, but of course they were at home in that one, and they've got Cecinio Badger still in goal, a player who did quite well for us, 52 appearances and 51 conceded, as we made a 20 million profit over a year and a half. So we've got no grudges against him, although he was pretty unhappy when he left, but hopefully today we'll get a bit of revenge by managing to get over the line in this game. If we get through to the last 8, then it's anyone's game, and hopefully we'll be able to go on a run to the final. We told the lads to prove a point, and they're all motivated or confident, so let's go and get into the kick-off and see how a packed Torquay Stadium gets on. It's Juventus with a kick-off in the middle, and they're keeping the ball quite well early on. The first attack as they come down the left-hand side, then they've now passed it out for a throw-in. 20 seconds gone and we survived that first highlight, but hopefully Juventus won't get too many chances. Andrade into the box early on though, Yaladian with a brilliant effort, 2 fantastic saves from Badger, and eventually it's behind for a corner. Omar with the in-swinger takes it. McDonnell's nod down is cleared away, Yaladian picks it up on the left, into Andrade who's challenged, a wrist to slide in there and it could have been a penalty, but he timed it well and it's been cleared away. Moraes finds Omar again. More play in attacking areas as Keita goes for the shot. Brilliant save by Badger to tip it behind, and Omar will have yet another in-swinger. He's going to deliver to the back post. McDonnell up and heads it, just over the bar. Badger had it covered, and with 10 on it remains 0-0, but we're dominating the night so far. Juventus on the left with the ball as we're back for their first attacking highlight. No shots in the game yet, but that's normally followed by something special. This time Subotim goes from distance, but fortunately for us it's wide of the post. A quarter of the game gone and we still look comfortable. No shots on target against, and a 0-0 draw sees us through. A 1-0 defeat does exactly that as well. That second away goal from Silla could be crucial. We're back on the left again for Juve. Long ball forward and it's straight into the arms of Stojanovic. Not sure why we needed to see that bit, but Moraes gets it from the rollout to Omar. Silla on the left around halfway, inside the centre circle to Keita. Here's Omar again. He's got Yaladian out on the right, finds him and he beats 2 men. Looks a different player as he crosses for Silla. And there we go, it's the crucial goal. Juventus now need 2 to get to extra time and 3 if they want to get through in 90. That is a really important goal for us, and Boubacar Silla again combining with his other winger. Those two have been fantastic in recent months. We were so worried last season Yaladian would be a flop, but he's turned out to be brilliant this year, and Silla since he's ended his unhappiness has just been scoring and creating goals for fun. It's half time, it's 1-0 on the night, and it's going to be a long old road back for Juventus. Let's go and talk to the boys and tell them to prove a point. Ironically it's exactly the same in the other game, as Juventus are losing here and PSG are winning 1-0 in their game, so both games are 3-1 on aggregate, and the second half we shouldn't really throw it away. We've gone for exactly the same team talk as Stuart Jellin recommends, about half of them motivated this time, and we've got the kick-off with Andrade, and we'd like to have an uneventful second half. No real need to go forward and get loads, but we don't want to concede too many chances. We've given the ball away in the middle there, but the highlight ends almost immediately, and that bodes pretty well that they can't create chances. We've only conceded 1 shot on target all match. 5 gone in the second half is still 1-0 on the night, and I think we're going to be making it through to the quarter-finals. Famous last words perhaps, but let me know in the comments if you think we'll lose it from here. It's a free kick for Andrade 30 yards out. Brilliant save by Badger again. McDonnell holds it up the centre half, but it's been hacked away by Juve. It's out for a throw and the highlight ends, and Singy on a booking with an hour gone, but I don't think we're in any trouble at the moment. Well, it's been a really dull spell and there's just 15 minutes left now, so we are going to go and make one or two changes. Yeladi and the right wing is going to be replaced by Souza, just to give us a bit of fresh legs on the right. To get an assist and still have a 6.7 suggests he probably hasn't had the best game. We'll do the same at right back with Richard Quirk, just to give a homegrown player a chance. He wants to play on the biggest stage and he deserves his opportunity. His conduct's been brilliant in the last few months. Let's get back into it and we'll make the last change in 5. Hopefully we'll have no incidents before then. Over 80 gone now and we're still in the same position, so we're going to give Maddie Cater a little rest. Lappin will come on for him alongside Omar. He's also knackered but he's pretty calm at the moment. Hopefully Juventus won't have any clear-cut chances, as PSG has wrapped things up in the other tie, so one of our potential opponents next round, as Andrade has another free kick, which is deflected off the wall for a corner. It's an outswinging corner from Omar. We've had 3 clear-cut chances in this match, so really we should have put it to bed by now, but if Juve can't create any chances, we've not got to worry about them scoring. Just 2 minutes left now and we're about to find out how much stoppage time there is. There's been no concern in this game at all, and that's really a measurement of how far we've come. The fact that at no point we've really been worried about losing this tie. We felt confident we'll get through from the start. Juventus are through on the counter-attack now though. 1 minute of stoppage time left, but a free header finds the arms of Stojanovic only, and we couldn't have asked for a much easier chance to save. A pretty worrying moment late on in the match. We did lose our concentration slightly, but Souza's now free at the other end, crosses but Van Dongen gets there, and it's going to be cleared away via Badger. Silla picks it up on the left wing. He's lost possession, but there's just 30 seconds left, as Juve have chucked 4 up front now, but McDonald gets it back to Stojanovic, who just hoofs it out for a throw-in under pressure. Didn't want to take any risk there, not trying to do anything fancy, just regroups from the set piece and deals with it. Now Juventus getting in the box and out to Paletto, just a couple of seconds left as we speak, and it's out to the left wing on the byline, blocked and cleared away by Souza. The full-time whistle goes, and what a brilliant European performance. We've had 2 or 3 of those on camera this season. This is the first one at the Torquay Stadium, where we've just controlled a game from start to finish. McDonald was man of the match at centre-half, and Singi was super again, and Omar keeps getting above a 7 every match, as Boubacar Silla scored the crucial goal. An assist from Yeladian despite a poor game, and there's not really any performances to criticise there. No one below a 6.7, everyone contributing, and plenty of positive signs moving forward. So we'll go and find out who we get in the quarter-finals, hopefully meet our youth intake as well, but let's first go and see what the media have said about it, if we deserved our win as much as we thought we did. There's the confirmation of the 2 results then. A brilliant performance against the European giant. The first leg triumph helped us through, but there was nothing to suggest that we didn't deserve to win. And again we've got our usual statement in the media report. The fixture marred by a succession of fouls by our opposition that prevented us getting into our rhythm. The confirmation we're into the last 8. We'll deal with a press conference off camera, and another £8.5 million in the bank, which will go towards that big summer signing up front. Let's go and skip through a few days so we can see the last 8 draw. There's of course only going to be giant clubs left, so it's going to be a difficult tie either way, and hopefully we'll get our youth intake before the weekend, and if we do we'll show that on camera as well. So we'll be back in a moment after we've dealt with the press conference and skip through to the next major event. Well, we're back the following morning and this episode could be a big double whammy. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the Champions League draw in this episode, as we were the first set of last 16 fixtures, so there'll be another 4 in the next midweek after our Liverpool game as well. So we won't find out, and it'll be a surprise next episode, as we'll be back for the second leg of that quarter-final, and you've got no idea who we're going to face. But you can see we're back because we've got the youth player announcement. I haven't had a look at it yet, so I'm interested to see what we've got. I'm hoping we'll have a really special player, someone I can give game time to before the end of the series, although I guess we don't want our best wonder kid at this point, as we can't really take advantage of them with just 2 or 3 years left in this series. But at the end I will make this save available to everyone, so you can go on and continue with Torquay. You can go and make our best wonder kid superstars and go and break all sorts of records for the club. So let's go and have a look at that message in a moment. I just want to clear the other 2 out the way. Got to leave a little bit of suspense for you, haven't we? Let's find out if it'll be a good or bad one. So cross your fingers as we click the button. One of the better players from this year's youth intake. As we all know, that's pretty much literature for the worst one you could have got. There's not going to be anyone special here. We'll be very surprised if there is. Dan Smith Good is the best player from the youth intake. Let's have a look to see what position he plays. I'm trying to find him in the top one here. He's a left back born in Plymouth, so let's go and look at the team. But we're obviously not expecting any fireworks after that message. I'm a little bit underwhelmed after our brilliant result. So let's go and have a look at the intake. 1-star ability, 3.5-star potential, 15 years of age. He's not a bad player, but if he is going to make it to first team level, it probably won't be till after this series has finished. So let's go and have a look at his profile though. It's a really decent balanced fullback actually, and he could become a fantastic backup at Premier League level and at least compete and get appearances in the Cup. So we will try and get him 1 or 2 in this save, but he's not going to make it before we finish the series, and it is a bit sad because he's a decent balanced pro, probably a less good version of Richard Quirk at the other end. The mental attributes are fine, he's fairly determined, and he's got all those key stats, the crossing, the tackling and stamina, and he's pretty quick as well, so we're fairly happy with him. He's even got a decent positional sense, something that's not too easy in defensive regens, but he's managed to do that pretty well. So we'll go and offer him a contract, just to make sure he doesn't leave the club, and we'll deal with the rest after that, and we'll offer him a professional deal before 17. The other one that's got 1-star ability and 3-star potential, Joe Catchpolar right back at the other side, a brilliant surname that is as well, not a good tackler, not a good crosser, poor positioning as we mentioned on the other side, so that's someone that's probably not going to make it, and he's a little bit more disappointing. Elliot Johnson's a centre half, only 1/2-star ability but 3-star potential, again a decent mix of attributes, but probably won't make it past championship level. So a decent left back in our youth intake. We're probably not going to benefit from it in this series. It's a shame he didn't come along 10 years ago. But let's go and have a look at our competition screen to confirm where we are at the moment. We know it's only PSG who are through to the last 8 with us in the Champions League, so we could yet face a multitude of opponents. Lots of British teams left as well, so we could have Chelsea or Arsenal. Tottenham are in the last 16 and doing well too, and obviously Hibernian are still hanging around, a side that have done really well this year. We've got Norwich of the Championship in the last 8 of the FA Cup, so I'm really hoping we'll be able to get past them, and at least if we do go out in a Champions League, maybe compete for a trophy domestically. It's probably not going to be the Premier League at this point. We did look like getting back into it at one point, but Arsenal have just been too strong this year, so well done to them, they're running away with it, but at least we've almost cemented the top 4. Let's go and have a look at the schedule though, see when we'll next be back, and of course the fixture we're back for probably isn't on here, but it will be that one around the 17th of April, the Champions League quarter-final second leg. We've no idea who our opponent's going to be yet, but that is going to be the game I show you. We're not going to worry too much about the other competitions. Perhaps if we get a massive FA Cup semi-final, we might be tempted to show that one, but if not, we'll just come back for the final should we get there, and we won't worry about the league too much for now. We're not in a title race and we're not in any danger, so we're just going to be floating around in 2nd or 3rd. If for some miracle that does change, we will obviously show you some action, but I wouldn't expect it honestly, as we will be resting players around the Champions League. The one benefit we've got in our Premier League running is an awful lot of home games out of the remaining ones, but that does include the likes of Arsenal, the runaway leaders, and then of course also Liverpool, who are up there near the top. But if you did enjoy this episode and that brilliant performance in Europe, a really controlled, comfortable display at home, please do put a thumbs up on the video. This squad is maturing and I'm really proud of them, so let me know in the comments where you think we can improve, or do you think we should just stick with these lads and hope they can get us over the line in the next 2 years. The striker position is probably the one for me, but even then I'm not too fussed this season, as Andrade has come to life at key moments. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this Torquay United story. We've got episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30, which will take us through to the release of FM20, and then on our previous Saturday head coach slot, we'll have news, feature reactions and announcements regarding FM20, and there'll be a couple of votes in those episodes as well, as you can help shape the content on the channel next year. I've decided the team for my one club story and most of my short-term challenges, but my second long-term save later in the year, I've got a couple of options to choose from. So come and let me know what you think. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel for those episodes. They will be out over one of the next few Saturdays, and come along and let me know your opinion. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career, every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. That one's going really well at the moment and we're finally starting to make some big progress, and that will continue through to the release of FM20, where we'll drop to 2 episodes a week. So we really are starting to think ahead now and plan for the next game, which I'm so excited about, and I hope you guys are too. Of course, let me know in the comments who you're planning on managing. We'll talk about it throughout the FM20 videos, but get your thoughts in early if you've made up your mind. Let me know who you're going to be taking charge of and the reasons for doing so as well. Then finally, we've got a couple more episodes from our Snooker 19 career. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're in the final event of the series, and how long it continues depends on our success. We're playing the Snooker World Championships, and we're showing action from every round, and that will continue until we get knocked out, so hopefully a couple more weeks to go yet. But a massive thanks to everyone for watching and continuing to enjoy this series. I really do appreciate it and I'm loving making the videos, and I hope to see you next time for another big one again as we play in the Champions League quarter-final, hoping to get closer to that trophy that eludes us.